Hail, bird of prey. 5. Hail, Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Kiroga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird o' Prey 5, Kupla, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, February 15th, 2023. This is not a tribute to Cardinal Sin. I am neither qualified nor do I have the desire to do a tribute stream to the late Cardinal Sin, but I did have to discuss it. It is the elephant in the room, and I literally woke up to the news of his passing. I was half awake. I put on a stream just to listen to, with the intent of falling back asleep to this morning, but the stream, the person started talking about Cardinal Sin passing, and I was half awake. It didn't make much sense. For literally 15 minutes, I was going under the assumption that this was some sort of bad joke or tasteless, I don't know, attempt at humor. And I just didn't realize it until, like, you can't be serious. Surely this isn't real. But when I thought about it, I was like, well, how else would I know? I mean, it's as whatever we may think of Cardinal Sin, the fact is he was not famous enough that the news would break in should he have passed away. I mean, he was not an A-list celebrity, or even B-list for that matter. He was a YouTube friend to many, and I hate to say it in that way, but that's really about all he was. Certainly, no more famous than many others in this sphere, including myself. And in doubt, I would say he was probably more famous than myself. He had a channel with more legacy than I'd have in a long time. Many people considered him a close friend, and you know, we'd all be lucky to be as well remembered as Cardinal Sin will be. So after, I don't know, a half hour, I started getting the sinking feeling that this was not a joke. After all, I woke up and I started going to these streams that they were talking about. And sure enough, I found the original stream that somebody else had heard, and then the original stream where it had been first mentioned on YouTube that Cardinal Sin had passed, that people were in contact apparently with Cardinal Sin's brother, whose name was well known to some of you guys out there. It wasn't known to me, but was known to others. And yeah, so very sad to learn it myself this morning. And I haven't been quite right about it all day. I mean, the reality is I didn't know a lot about Cardinal Sin. I know he had been up on my panels a few times. I would say that I think there was some perhaps mutual respect. He seemed to be okay with me, and I was certainly okay with him. I guess I never knew how big a deal he was behind the scenes, in listening to people remember him today. I had no idea how much he was helping other channels behind the scenes with money if necessary, with time if he could, helping people grow their channels, helping people just if they were interested in doing this for a living or as a serious hobby, giving them ideas and just keeping people interested in doing what they were doing. And to me, I knew him as a guy who did a really good Christopher Walken impression, but he was much more to many of you out there. So that's why I am certainly not qualified, nor did I have any intent to make this any type of tribute. This is not a tribute stream to Cardinal Sin. It's merely me personally remembering Cardinal Sin as the guy I knew him to be. But he was far more to many others, and they would be much better suited to do some sort of celebration or official remembrance than I. What I did do, I made a little bit of a tribute, not tribute. Well, I guess we could call it tribute. Some words that actually were inspired by the Deep Space Nine episode where Quark becomes a weapons dealer on the station, He doesn't actually deal in weapons because that would be illegal. He deals in holographic recreations of weapons, which are totally legal, but also the Federation and even the Bajorans are not happy about it, but they're okay with it because it's technically not illegal. And Quark's cousin, Galen, whatever, takes Quark to the window, and you see all those stars outside the window. And Quark was having an emotional issue about, making a morphogenic or mutagenic virus that was going to kill 60 or 80 million people. And Quark is like, well, what if it only killed 40 million? Would that be okay? And his cousin says, Quark, look at all these stars, Quark. There's the night sky is filled with millions and millions of stars, and all of them are half of these lights are trying to put out another light. And he's like, and will it really matter if one light amongst all these millions goes out tonight? Will anyone really care? And don't tell me that you would be, giving me some type of moral story if you had 10,000 bars of gold pressed latinum, if just one of those lights goes out tonight. And, that's what I was thinking of when I said we woke up to the sad news that one of many dots of light in our night sky went out last night. Many may never notice, but for some, the loss will always be missed. That's just what I felt. And I took a shot of Cardinal Sin from one of his recent streams. The man used to stream with those sunglasses on for whatever reason. I don't know if it was his own medical or just his own physical desire to have his eyes covered or what, but certainly certainly a way that I'll remember him when he did stream. And for those, I didn't realize until today that he had two Twitter profiles, almost identical. One under his real name, Gil James Bavel, I believe, / Cardinal Sin, and also under Cardinal Sin at Cardinal Sin 16, both of which he followed me. I was only following him under Cardinal Sin. This morning I realized under his real name he was also following me, so I followed him back. And as you can see, both accounts have virtually the same description. So I'm just going to read this for the Cardinal Sin 16, which is his YouTube channel. Cardinal Sin describes himself, and these are his words. I'm not saying them as an insult or as an affirmation. Just these are his words. Atheist, liberal, progressive, SF writer, meaning sci-fi writer. I was like, San Francisco writer, what the fuck? No, sci-fi. sci-fi writer, editor, publisher, youtube.com/Cardinal Sin, UFO shows, masters of the genre. I'm cool. Check me out. And from Lawrence, Kansas, and his cardinalsin.net webpage has links to mostly all his old shows. And he had joined Twitter in February of 2022. That was his new Twitter profile for his YouTube account. Of course, his original, I guess his older Twitter account, he calls himself, again, atheist, progressive, YouTuber, lefty, old school liberal, pro-choice, cis white male, but I'm an ally. Hit me up. I'm cool. And again, he links to his YouTube channel. But this, he joined in February 2009. He said he was born March 2nd. And I'm told he was, I believe, 50 years old or 55 years old when he passed. Either way, although he's older than I am, still much too young to have passed. So, and one thing we all do know, Cardinal Sin did love was talk about UFOs and paranormal events. And this whole week with the UFO disclosure, the aliens in Mexico, the aliens from outer space, not illegal aliens, but 1,000-year-old aliens from outer space, supposedly disclosed in Mexico. This would have been a really big week for him. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I honestly don't know what his life, what he was going through. Was he sick? Was he excited? I have no idea what he was up to these last few days, but I hope he had heard about it, and I hope I hope he is still, maybe he is privy, maybe, and I hope for his sake, as if he truly believed as an atheist that his life ended when he died, then that's unfortunate, but I suppose it is what it is. I suspect there is more to life than death, for whatever that means. I think he probably is in some place, whether that's purgatory or heaven, or his body has simply shed some sort of mortal being, and there is now energy that continues on. Whatever you want to call it, I think that's closer to what's going on. And he is probably in some way, even if he cannot communicate with us, I have to believe he is able to still see us to a point where we will see him to in some point, shape, or form later in our lives. But, so rest in peace, Cardinal Sin. John DeMarco says condolences to Cardinal Sin's family. and friends. Absolutely. Hakeem says, so sad to hear of his passing. I wasn't into the alien stuff, but it was interesting to hear. And he always made me feel welcome in the chat. Richie Poole with some alpacas and says 3 Vicks. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello. Mary Sue's 4 says hello, fellow chatters, brothers, sisters. Kapla Mikey Sue's. And I saw Mikey Sue's did a tribute stream earlier today. And Mikey Sue says, thank you, Hakeem, for attending my tribute to Cardinal Sin. Please be there for our memoriam tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. So Mikey Sue's will again at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight be continuing a memoriam stream for Cardinal Sin. Mikey Sue says, thank you, John. I'll be there for Jeopardy Saturday for the last time before taking some personal time off. That'll be tomorrow night. Mikey C. says, hello, Richie. Hello, Captain Fandom Nerd. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello back. Mikey Sue says, I just did a personal tribute video to Gil, Cardinal Sin, and tonight will be a memoriam to him as well. That's very awesome, Mikey. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior, Birdo Pray 5, and hail, Karoga. Hail to you, Jedi Bill. And Mikey Sue says, hail, Jedi Bill. Massive big in the Force. I assume a change in the Force. Richie Poole says, Mom O pray, Sis O pray, Nephew O pray, and the sassy emojis. Mikey Sue says, welcome back to Richie Poole. Last son of K says, Kapla, Bird and family. Hello all, Kapla, last son of K. Richie Poole says hello. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. Richie Poole says, Birdo Fray 5, your feeble weapons will be useless against us. Indeed. Indeed they will. And of course it all jumped. Mikey C says, hail the Karogan Empire that oversees our Star Trek, Star Wars alliance. My Borg cubes are on standby, and Darth Vader's SSD is also ready. I'm its captain. Yvette says, good evening, Bird, and everyone, good evening to the lovely Yvette. Matt G puts in sassy, Mamo pray, Birdo pray, and Sisso pray emojis. Thank you, Matt G. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Last son of Say says, good evening to Yvette. Mikey Sue says, hello to last son of K. And Bradley Briggs. Richie Poole says, Bird runs Karoga like a piecework factory. Everybody saying hello. Last son of K says, Bird runs Karoga like a broken clock. Project Storytime says, rest in peace to Cardinal Sin. Galenda, Kapla Galenda says, hello, beautiful people. Hello, Galenda. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, saddened Kapla today. Rest in peace, Gil. Yep. Brian McFarland says, Heidi ho, everybody. Heidi ho, Brian. Deej Odyssey says, afternoon, folks. Good afternoon to Deej. Mikey Sue says, welcome back to Captain Fandom Nerd. Richie Poole asked Deej if he's feeling any better. Deej says, yes, Richie, managed to even work today. but it wore him out. Words and pictures is Kapla Bird. Love to you and yours and all others. Thank you, Words and Pictures. Love to you as well. Uh, uh, Peter Ryder, Captain Finity, with a shot glass. I believe I believe that to be a glass, a tribute to Cardinal Sin. Indeed, a drink, a shot, whatever you want, a tribute to Cardinal Sin. Now is the time. Now is the time to have a shot for Cardinal Sin. Last son of K says, rest in peace, Cardinal Sin. Though I did not know him very well, many of you did. I mourn your loss. That's how I feel too. I wish I'd got to know him better. I would say I barely knew the man. I see so many others clearly knew him much better than I did. Galender says hi to Deej. Matt G puts in prayers. Matt G says hello. Mikey Sue says hello, Words and Pictures. And Miss Galinda. Scotty R37 says, hi, everyone, Kapla Bird. My best wishes to the friends and family of Cardinal Sin. Absolutely. I did not know, but apparently Cardinal Sin's brother has been to other people's streams. And I believe it was his brother who first made the announcement of his actual passing. So absolutely, Cardinal Sin's brother, if you come across this at some point or hear about this, you, among everyone else I know, of course, has my deepest condolences on the passing of your brother. And as sad as that is, it's wonderful that you were at least as part enough of the community that you could pass that information on to all of us. Because there are so many people out there who don't have family members qualified nor willing to pass on information like this, that it could be months or years, if ever, that people would find out what really happened to someone who ends up passing, and don't have anyone designated to pass that information on to their communities. Bradley Briggs says, I still don't believe he's gone. It's going to take a while. Rest in peace, Cardinal Sin. We loved you. Jedi Bill says hello to Scotty, who says hello back. And Jedi Bill says hello to Richie Poole. Richie Poole says hi back, as does Last Son of K. Captain Infinity says hey to Gorilla. Mikey Sue says hey to Scotty. JP's gives a nice thumbs up. Jedi Bill says hey to Project Storytime. Project Storytime, Kapla Project Storytime. Did I miss you? I must have missed you. Trek, excuse me, Ted's Trek World, Ted's Nerd World says, oh my, I had no idea. Was he sick? Was there an accident? Ted, I don't know. People mentioned that he had some medical issues of his own I don't know what that means. I don't know if he was depressed, if he was seriously ill. I have no idea. So let's not speculate on what may or may not have happened. At some point, I'm sure we will find out if it's relevant. And if it's not relevant, then it's not relevant. So Mikey Sue says he passed last night in his bed. Okay, so Mikey Sue's has far more up-to-date information than I have. I didn't even know it was last night, and I didn't know it was in his bed. So tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, Mikey Sue's is doing a memoriam stream. So you guys can certainly check it out. Or earlier, he did a stream earlier today. You could go check that out as well. Ted's Nerd World says, crap, I'm stunned. Indeed, that's what I was feeling when I first heard the news early this morning. Alyssa Victoria Parker, Alesia Victoria Parker, says, I'm sorry to hear about his passing. He will be missed. Absolutely. Bradley Briggs says, what does Bradley Briggs say? It jumped. Bradley Briggs, where are you? Where are you? Nothing in the universe ends. It only changes forms. He's out there somewhere, happy. Ted's Nerd World is in whatever form he may be. I wish him peace. And John Araki. John Araki with a 99-cent super sticker, super poop super sticker. Got us some kissing Dax. So thank you, John Araki, for some kissing Dax. A little tribute there to Cardinal Sin, who is, as he says in his own Twitter biography, an ally of the LGBT community. So a big ally of Kissing Dax. So it is perfectly appropriate that Kissing Dax come up and remind us of the love that even Cardinal Sin had for a character like Dax. Captain Infinity says, amen to that. Bird of prey. Thank you, Captain. Dan Ben says, what is this video about? I don't think I've ever heard of this person. Dan Ben, not Captain. Cardinal Sin is I'll say he's famous, but he's well known amongst the YouTubers that I talk with on a daily basis. He's known to Doomcock. He's known to Nerdrotic. He's known to just about every other YouTuber I've talked with or hung out with. I know Orville Nation knows him. I know LDG knows him. I know Deej Odyssey knows him. I know tons, obviously, Mikey Sue's, Scotty, Antiderivative Jill, Captain Finity, all types of people know Cardinal Sin. He is very well known. If you don't know of him, if you know of the guy who did a great, amazing Christopher Walken impression, then you know who Cardinal Sin was. I mean, that's how I knew him for a long time. The guy who could do a dead-on Christopher Walken impression. Granted, that's very little compared to his full breadth of talents, but for me, that was his biggest talent that I knew. Bradley Briggs says, nothing in the universe ends. I think I read this. It only changes forms. From here on, it only changes forms. He's out there somewhere happy. And Ted's Nerd World says, in whatever form he may be, I wish him peace. Captain Fando Merd says hello to Alicia Victoria Parker. Eastland Burkholder says hello, Kapla. Eastland Burkholder. Mikey Sue says hello to Dan Ben and Eastland Burkholder. Our brother Gil, aka Cardinal Sin, passed away last night. It's a major blow to all of us. Pop Culture Curator says, hail everyone and rest in peace, Cardinal Sin. Kapla, Berto Prey. Kapla, Kapla, Pop Culture Curator. Gorilla says, hey to Captain Finity. And Gorilla says, all I know is he passed in his sleep and Ari found him. So that's all I know. Ari is his brother. So he passed in his sleep and his brother found him. I have my sincere condolences go to his brother. But if you've got to go, going in your sleep, it's the way I would like to go. Just go to sleep and not worry, not know, not suffer. That's the way, if it's going to happen, that's the best way. Mikey Sue says hello to Pop Culture Curator. Mikey Sue says thank you and hail Bird Kapla Karoga. Scotty says hey to Gorilla and to Pop Culture Curator. And John Araki says kissing Dax for the Cardinal. Indeed. Dave G Sounds says Kapla, Dave G. Jedi Bill says hello to Dave G. And John Araki gifted 5 more memberships. Thank you so much, John Araki. We were up to 49 members before, so I guess this brings us to 54 members. Mikey Sue's got a membership. Deej Odyssey got a membership. Angredia was gifted a membership. Keely Chow and Grandfall were all gifted memberships by John Araki. Thank you so much, John Araki. Dave G says, hey there to Mikey Sue's and Jedi Bill. Dan Ben understands. And Mikey Sue's says TYSM. Dan Ben's is not a name I remember seeing. You'd remember him if you saw him. Bradley Briggs, in fact, this is what he looked like. This is what he looked like. There you go. That's the late Cardinal sin. Mikey Sue says hugs to you, Bird, and thank you to John Araki. Bradley Briggs says John Araki, more like John Pockets full of money. Deed says, yeah, Cardinal, keep me company during some of these late nights, during those crazy 48-hour streams. Absolutely. He was on late at night sometimes, crazy hours. He did his own midnight to midnight streams. He was kind of, people remember him as kind of like a Art Bell, an Art Bell type, which is to me personally, you're in good company, because I always liked Art Bell. I think a lot of people did. So it's both a credit to his talents and his personality. Jim's Landscaping LLC, Commodore Productions says hello, Bird, and chat. Hello, Commodore. He says hail to Mikey. Welcome, Commodore. Pop Culture Curator says hail to Jim. Deej, rather than death by sleep, Deej wants death by snoo snoo. Of course, Deej. I guess death in your sleep is the second best way of dying. Death by snoo snoo is, of course, even better than death in your sleep. Death in the act of lovemaking, especially the kind of lovemaking where you as the guy is just laying there and the woman is doing all the work. And I mean all of the work. You're just laying back and being used like a piece of meat, like some sort of farm animal that's just being drained. But oh, is it ever so pleasurable and just for your heart to give out in an act of lust. You literally can't take the pleasure that's being forced upon your body. That, I suppose, is the greatest death of all. Falling out in your sleep, dreaming about that would be the close second, a very close second. John Araki says, going during sex, greater than going in your sleep. Yeah, but it's better for you. I'll grant you that. But I don't know that it's better for them. And it's certainly not better for the whales. It's better for you. It's better for me. It's better for them. No. Going during sex, that's only better for you. It's certainly not better for them. Last on the cases, you would, Deej. By the way, I hope you're feeling better. Richie Poole says, oh no, Deej is a member. Deej says hey to Scotty. Sean Carter is a member now. Says welcome, friend of Karoga. Thank you, Sean Carter. Deej says mostly to the last son of K. Antiderivative Jill is in the house. Kapla, antiderivative Jill. I saw you on clobbering time, hearing the news last night. Antiderivative Jill. I was very sorry to hear myself. Antiderivative Jill says listening and driving. Rest in peace, Gil. I miss you. Absolutely. Mikey Suze yells thank you to Sean. Deej says yes, Richie. Can't hold from me in the next members only stream. Can't hide from me in the next members only stream. Scotty says Jill. Jill yells Scotty. Last Son of K says drive safely to antiderivative Jill. Absolutely. Schwario, Kapla Schwario. Says Bird, Kapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Well, we're doing, Schwario. Mikey Suze 4 says hello to Miss Antiderivative Jill. Schwario says, sorry I'm late. Hello to you all. The Traveler, Kapla Traveler, says Bird of Prey 5 shot. I'm late. What did I miss? You missed a little bit of us remembering Cardinal sin. Mikey Suze says hello to Schwario. Antiderivative Jill says hi to Mikey. Last Son of K. Sean Carter says, Mikey, I should have joined a while ago. Richie Poole uses his 12-month friend of Karoga super chat to say rest in peace, Cardinal Sin. Thank you, Richie Poole. Absolutely. Rest in peace to Gil. Sean Carter says aloha to Scotty. And Deej says death by Snoo Snoo, and then puts in Sisso Prey avatar for some reason. Dan Ben says riding. Mikey Sue says no worries, Mr. Sean. We love you, man. Scotty R37 says snoo snoo like a rented mule. Gorilla says hey to Scotty. Last Son of K says really, Bird? I have to go. Yes, I'm just saying, Last Son of K. Some of us think about these things. Bradley Briggs says, I wouldn't mind being smothered to death by a nice thick pair of thighs. Now, I don't want pain. Okay, I don't want to be squeezed to death by a pair of thighs, no matter how sexy a woman they're attached to. Okay, I don't want that. Mikey Sue says, now maybe if she, was so tight, she was forcing and I ended up, drowning, trying to, even that, I don't want to drown. I want to go in my sleep. And if not my sleep, then just because I've been forced to perform so much that my heart gives out. And like my heart physically explodes because they're just forcing me to perform in ways the body, was not meant to. Dan Ben says a lot of people don't want to sleep in a bed that someone has died in. Don't worry about it, Dan Ben. Nobody's asking. The Traveler says, what in the hell is Bird talking about? Don't worry about it, Traveler. Last in the case is a lot of people don't want to wake up next to a dead person. Don't worry. You're not going to wake up. John Araki with a $2 super chat. Thank you, John Araki. Says 10% for the big guy to be held by Mama Prey. She keeps 90%. 10% for the big guy. 2 to be held by Mama Prey. She keeps 90%. I don't know what the hell that means. 10% for God, 2 to be held by Mama Prey, then she keeps 90? I don't understand. Deej Odyssey says, oh, Bird, don't be saying I put Sissel Prey for some reason, lol, you know. Dan Ben says, you don't want to die in a sex choking act. No, I don't. Scotty says, I was lucky to have been on a couple of Sin's midnights to midnights. He always asked that I be on camera and myself. I learned more punk from him than I deserved. I am grateful to have known him. Absolutely, Scotty. John Araki says, don't go out like David Carradine. Carradine? I don't know who that is. Deed says, Monty Python said it best. Sit on my face and tell me that you love me. Scotty says, I love to hear you oralize. Oralize. Last on the case is who actually wants to die by autoerotic asphyxiation? You don't want to die by it. You just want it to be exciting. Mikey Sue says, don't go out like Admiral Tzenia on a top. I don't know what that is. Bradley Briggs says yes to Deej. Yes. And Jim's Landscape puts in a Ferengi repair video link. Oh. Let's see what's going on. Hashtag Cardinal Sin. People are posting their Cardinal Sin pictures. I think those are probably the only legits. I know Mexican Iron Man, he was talking about Cardinal Sin. Our dear friend Gil Babel, aka Cardinal Sin, has passed away. Please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. Was informed tonight by my friend Kamran Pasha and Muslim uncle via Mr. Walter Bosley. Yeah. So today is September 15th. There are a number of holidays listed for September 15th. 31 holidays, a ridiculous number of holidays for today. Most of them are Independence Days of various South American countries, so we will skip those. It is Butterscotch Cinnamon Pie Day, a very specific pie. Felt Hat Day. is celebrated to honor the long history of hats, and I suspect felt hats. It's also Greenpeace Day, a day dedicated to the environmental activism to create a green and clean future. I mean, Greenpeace is literally almost a terrorist. Almost. Okay, legally different from calling them a terrorist organization, but almost a terrorist organization. I don't believe it's appropriate for them to have a whole day to them dedicated in this national calendar. It's International Day of Democracy, International Dot Day. It started with a story about a little girl named Vashti, the protagonist of the dot. It's Make a Hat Day. It's National African Civility Day. Discover what Africa Civility Day is, about the best ways to commemorate the occasion. National Cheese Toast Day. Now, that's not grilled cheese day, it's cheese toast. Celebrating the amalgamation of crunchiness and cheesiness of this dish in your mouth. National Concussion Awareness Day. National Creme de Menithee Day. It looks like green jello. Get set to unwind and cool down with this soothing flavored liqueur. National Custom Framing Day. Have you ever wondered how boring a painting or photograph would look without a frame? Yes, I have. And I got to tell you, I find the effort going to framing way too much effort for very little extra. September 15th is also National Dare Day. Get ready to learn about preventing drug abuse and how you can help. National Doodle Day. Check out some National Doodle Day celebration ideas that we're really drawn to. Those days when we had sketchbooks or paper books that we filled with more doodles than actual information. I miss those days. I feel like an idiot too. Like when I watch Star Trek and I try to take notes, like I find myself typing them into my laptop, but I know I'd be better off if I just had a pen and paper. But I feel like an idiot buying pen and paper to take notes. Why would I do that? I could just type them into my computer. National Double Cheeseburger Day. It's not enough to have a single cheeseburger. It's got to be a double cheeseburger. Join us in celebrating one of America's revered and most savored food items. It's also National Google Day. Do you know what today is? It's National Google.com Day. Let's celebrate together. This is one of the many days that's supposed to celebrate the first day of Google.com. But even Google themselves doesn't appear to be celebrating today. Oh, maybe they are. Maybe they are. What's that? No, they're celebrating Louisa Moreno. is for Hispanic Heritage Month. So they're not even celebrating. They're not even celebrating today as their own day. National Linguine Day. Linguine Day looks delicious. The pesto is blended, the shrimp is boiled. Time to add the most important ingredient, linguine. National Online Learning Day. National POW MIA Recognition Day. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. Mr. Biden, President Biden, sir, you did promise the cure for cancer. Sir, please make with the cure that you promised, at least for the children. Sir, think of the children. You promised the cancer cure. It's National Tradesmen's Day. It's Rosh Hashanah. And it's World Afro Day. No, that's real. We have all you need to celebrate your natural coils and curls this World Afro Day. And last but not least, on today, September 15th, 2023, it's World Engineers Day. Get those helmets on and let's celebrate World Engineers Day right here. So congrats to all the engineers of the world. And also congrats to Linguine. So let's do Linguine for Engineers Day. Yes, Mama Frey. I want Linguine. And it's Wordle time. So let's check. September 15th. September 15th, somebody throw out a 5-letter word and I'll come back and check it out. In the meantime, let's go back and look at the chat. Dan Ben says, yeah, the quagmire. John Araki says, I want my death to ruin the coroner's weekend. Get my money's worth out of that funeral. Deej says, giggity, giggity. Mikey Sue says, my last comment was a James Bond reference. Don't go out like the Admiral to Xenia on a top. Gotcha. That was a James Bond reference. The Traveler says, Berto Bray, you skipped my last comment. The Traveler says, Mikey Sue's for greetings. And what the hell is Bird talking about? Bradley Briggs says, I am a full, almost nothing left donor. So when I pass, I'll hopefully save a dozen's life and help a bunch of others' lives be better. Like an organ donor. Gotcha. Last Son of K says, I like butterscotch, but butterscotch cinnamon pie sounds gross. Mikey Sue says, I appreciate your greetings to the Traveler. Mikey Sue says, International Dot Day Kapla. Dan Ben says, yeah, in the UK, we have something called cheese on toast, which might be called grilled cheese, but the picture is what we call a cheese toasty. Sometimes you can even have ham in it. Mikey Sue says, Creme de menthe, pronounced menthe. Menthe. Cream de menthe. Okay. Bradley Briggs says Cheeseburger Day. That's every day in America. Sean Carter says the moonshot. Speaking of the moonshot, For All Mankind, season 4 is coming out November 10th. Season 4 of For All Mankind is due November 10th of this year. They put up Apple TV put out a trailer 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So that was good. I was afraid it would be delayed because of the actors' strike and the writers' strike, but apparently not. They just went ahead and put it in for November 10th. Mikey Sue says hey to Thomas. Sean Cardia of the word labia. Mikey Sue says cream. Nick Chaplin, Kaplan Nick, says, do you know the cause of death? He looked young. We do not know the cause of death, Nick. He was relatively young, yes. He was in his 50s. Nick says, how are you feeling, Bird? Kapla? Aaron Rodgers killed all us Jets fans 4 plays into the game. Yeah, I heard about Aaron Rodgers. Truth be told, I couldn't give a personal crap about the Jets or the Giants this year, but yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for Aaron. I feel bad for Jets fans. Yes, I know the Jets at least went on to win their first game. And from what I hear, they still have a decent chance of a decent season. But yeah, that's what I hate. I hate about these games. You wait your whole life, your whole years. You wait years, the season comes, and before the first game's over, your star quarterback is out for the entire season. It is what it is. Okay, so Labier did not give us a single letter. I'm going to go ahead and use cream. The only letter that's reused there is A. So we have a chance. Okay, we got an R and an E in the right spot and an R in the wrong spot. So let's see what we can't do. Richie Poole says the Jets will do fine without him, probably. Richie Poole says, my team, the Vikings, suck this year. Todd Jenny says, greetings, hail Karoga and Kapla. Kapla, hail Karoga. Okay. So let's try another word with some letters. We have E in the right spot, R in the wrong. So let's see what can we do? THERE. Could be. Yeah, okay. Well, there were 2 E's. There are two E's, and we know the second E is not the last letter. We know we have ER, so okay. And we have a T, so the T is either the second letter or the last letter. Now, if it's the last letter, then the E is either the first or second letter. Oh, let's see this. X E E R T. I don't think there's a word. Let's see. I don't think that there's a word that ends like that. Yeert, yeert, kiert, neert, veert, gert, deert, zeert. Okay, so that's not a possibility. So it's E something, ERT, exert. Exert. Ah, I had to just move the X. Okay, that one was good. That worked out. That worked out better than I thought it would. Dan Benz is on Twitter. I did send you a link to Star Trek Lower Decks version of this game. Yes, thank you. I saw it, Dan Ben. Lower Decks is doing their own version of Wordle. William Shakes Spielberg says, "Hail, Birdo Prey 5. Thank you for your very kind words and experiences of Cardinal Sin. He will be truly missed by many. I am still in tears myself since last night." I'm sorry to hear that, William, but in a way, it's a good thing. Obviously, you would only be in tears if you truly felt something for the man. And, it's good that you do. It's good that you do. He'll be missed, but that's what the most of us can hope for in life. We live a life and we hope we've touched other people, not physically, but we hope we've touched other people's lives in a way that they will miss us. Now, I would say I don't want people crying over me when the day comes that they find out that I've died, whenever that'll be, many, many years from now. But at that time, when you find that I've joined my warrior in Stovo Corps, don't be sad for me. If you want to be sad for yourselves, that's up to you, but don't be sad for me. Be sad for the family and friends who will miss me. Last on the cases, yeah, the Jets won't be so bad that they'll get first pick in the draft to waste another quarterback. Todd Jenny says, "Alpacans assemble, space engineers forever." Nick Chaplin says, "I want your quarterback, Richie Kirk's cousin." Richie Poole puts in alpacas. Todd Jenny says, tonight I have to do a sleep study for a fitting for a Darth Vader device, a CPAP. It's okay, Todd. It's easy, it's quick, and it's worth it. Last on the K says exert. Mikey Sue says teeth. Todd Jenny says might be useful for Comic-Con costume. No, you'll get used to it. Nick Chaplin says Minnesota will be fine as well, Richie Poole. As long as you have Kirk's Cousins, you will win 10 games. Todd Jenny says twirt and teary. Richie Poole says not if we keep fumbling the ball. Mikey Sue says tears. And last on the case says, you're welcome, Bird. Cheater. Hey, I came across exert myself. And Deej says hashtag Bird cheated. Not today. Nick Chaplin says you should have beat the Bucks. Inexcusable. But Philly is a really good team. Mikey Sue says, congrats, Bird. Thank you. And hello to William Shakespeareberg, who puts in candles. And William says hello to Mikey Sue's. Good to see you again. Nick Chaplin says Jets have to beat Dallas Cowboys. Richie Poole says Bird of Prey, sorry, but tears will be shed if and when you depart the earth. I get it, Richie. And it's not if, it is when. Death is, as my fraternity put it, the one door through which we all must cross. It's what makes us all mortal men, be it king or commoner, no matter how rich or poor we are, we will all face death one day. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Todd Jennings says, Bird of Prey, I sent you screenshots of a Bird Field B-60 stock fighter using all new Space Engineer blocks to your Steam account. Enjoy, sir. I will take a look, Todd. I did not get a notice, but I will have to go look. I'll have to bring up my chat in Steam and see what's going on, why I didn't get any notification. Richie says Kirk Cousins on record stating that William Shatner is the real Captain Kirk. Good man, that Kirk Cousin. Last on the case is Dallas Cowboys weren't that good. The New York Giants are that bad. Deej says not today, but it leaves open. It leaves open to the past. Nick James says Kirk Cousins loves shopping at Kohl's, Richie. Deej says he's a Time Lord. He will regenerate. And Dan Ben also says, Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Todd Jenny says, your Steam says you've been offline for 7 months. Well, I know I'm on like whatever it's called, private or something. I don't want people to know when I'm online. Yeah, Todd Jenny says stealth bird gaming. Exactly. I really don't want people to know that I've opened up a game in the middle of the night or something. And it's all. Dear Bop, says Richie Poole. Yes, we're getting to the Dear Bops. Dan Ben says they sing that in the Simpsons episode, Bart's Comet, and it hits the survival shelter and collapses. Yes, Everybody in town was in the shelter, and then they all decide to come out and face the comet alone, and the only thing destroyed is the shelter and I think Moe's Tavern. Um, okay. Deed says, hell no. Oh, is he into Jodie Whittaker? Is Deej into Jodie Whittaker? And Deej says, hell no. I don't know, Deej. I don't know if you'd kick her out of bed, Deej. Okay. Time for Dear Bop. Richie Poole says Jodie is Deej's favorite doctor. I suspect. Dear Bop, what do you think of the UFO disclosure? I think they've done this all before. I remember disclosing, well, I don't know what to call it, but I remember specifically Mexico claiming that they had alien bodies that were hundreds of years old, and they were these tiny little bodies, and claiming they were aliens. And it's exactly the same thing that's happening again. So I don't know what happened to this 15, 20 years ago when they did it the first time. I'm guessing nothing happened to it then, and nothing's going to come of it again. Mikey Sue says Bird sings as well as Doris Day did. I don't know about that. Need says he wouldn't let her into his bed. Richie Poole says Bird's singing is legendary. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. I mean, we could do que sera, sera lyrics. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. I ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera. There you go. There you go. I don't know how we got on that, but that's what I think of UFO disclosures. Moving on. Damn you, clipped. Dear Bob, yes, Sassy. Ideal peanut butter to jelly ratio. That is a trick question. There is only one ratio of peanut butter to jelly, the same as matter to antimatter. 1 to 1. 1 to 1. Trick question. I see what you did there. You almost got me. Luckily, I have practical experience making peanut butter and jelly. Deej Odyssey said Bird should make an album. William Hung did. And Deej has clipped Bird admitting to being a little girl. Richie Poole says, my Doctor Who ended with Tom Baker. I did see some of the blonde dude who followed him, but lost track after that. Nick Chaplin says, I would rather have Patrick Stewart in my bed than Jodie Whittaker. Hell to the no. Nick, well, I understand the sentiment, maybe. I would rather have Jodie Whittaker than Patrick Stewart. I'm sorry. As much as I hate Doctor Who, and I particularly hate her as Doctor Who, at least she is a she. And I'm sorry, but those little things still mean things to me. And yeah, I would deal with it. I would deal with saying I had to make snoo with Jodie Whittaker far easier than Patrick Stewart. And Deej puts in a link. Last on the case is Richie Poole. Tom Baker is my favorite classic Doctor, but I don't blame the actors that came after for the bad writing. Jodie had bad writing and bad acting. Richie Poole says one must spread peanut butter on both slices of bread, the second being a thinner coat to keep the jam or jelly from soaking into the bread. Mamo Pray agrees. And Richie Poole says Tom Baker was a tough act to follow. Dear Bop, please say a prayer for Cardinal Sin. Well, the problem with that is Cardinal Sin, by his own definition, by his own description, is an atheist. Nothing against him, but those were legit. Let me go back to it. There you go. By his own definition of his own, on his own biography, and both biographies of both channels, atheist comes first. So I feel like it would be offensive to him to give a prayer, although I understand those of us who aren't atheists, we might say a prayer for him in private. So I think we can maybe give, we can send some good vibes. That would be to the universe, to whatever may or may not be out there. Please, if you do exist, if there's anybody listening, we love Cardinal Sin. He was a good man, and we hope that his soul, whatever may or may not exist of it, finds peace. And we hope that if it happens, that we can reunite with souls in the future, that his might be one we get to reconnect with one day. I think that's fair. And Dear Bop, For All Mankind, Season 4. There we go. Thank you. Coming November 10th this year. And there's a link. Let's see, is that the link for the trailer? Yes. This is the trailer. It's 1 minute and 8 seconds. And it's a Helios recruitment video. Basically, they're trying to recruit people to go to Mars. And at the end of it, we see the main guy. He's been digitally aged up. There it is. Destiny awaits. So that's so this is probably another 10 years plus in the future, and destiny awaits on Mars. Come join us on Mars For All Mankind, November 10th. Catch up now. So let's see, catching up. What do we got? What are we, September, October, November, 2 months out. We're only 2 months out from the fourth season of For All Mankind. So actually, I probably will resubscribe to Apple TV soon because I think I want to rewatch it from the first season so I can come into season 4 strong. Richie Poole says, hasn't seen season 1 or any other season yet. Well, that's the same, Richie. You really should see it. Sean Carter says those are straight PB and J facts. Last Son of K says Richie Poole, if you've never listened to the big Finnish Doctor Who audio dramas, Paul McGowan is a far better doctor in those than the TV movie he was in. Hashtag McGann Gang. Nick Chaplin says rest in peace to Cardinal Sin. Pat S says thanks. Prayers, Bop. Gil was such a great guy. He has earned a good rest, and I hope he now has all the answers. Oh, absolutely. I hope he's got all the answers. Deej says, I haven't even seen season 3 yet. Deej, I hope you'll get to see season 3 soon. Mikey Sue says, even sinners have souls, as well as atheists. They all deserve our prayers. Richie Poole says, I haven't seen season 1 or any season yet. Richie, you've got to see it. Euler Greg, Kapla Euler Greg says, Hail Cardinal Sin. One last time. Rest in peace, Gil. Absolutely. Absolutely. Euler Greg says, hey to Mikey, and just paying his respects. And Mikey says, thank you for doing so to Euler. And thank all of you guys for hearing me pay my respects to Cardinal Sin. Again, I knew him briefly compared to some of you. He had certainly come to my channel. We hung out on rare occasion, but obviously some of you guys knew him much more than I did, and I certainly didn't feel I really don't feel able or qualified to give a tribute to the man. It was just me needing to talk out, and you know, I wanted to find out what happened as soon as I heard this morning, and I found out what I could. So I was passing that on, and I know Mikey Sues will be doing more tonight at 10 p.m. I'm sure other channels will be doing more. I know obviously Doomcock does his Friday night frolics. I'm sure he will say some words about Cardinal Sin during that. And all these people knew him more than I did. So certainly be sure to catch some of those streams when you can. With that, though, I think we will call it a stream. I have to get going. And thank you all for hanging out. We will we'll be back, I guess. I don't know about Sunday, but we'll try to be back for Monday again. Maybe Sunday, we'll see. Kapla all, bird out.